In the middle of the Rajaswaya Yagna, the air is thick with tension. Lord Krishna has just used the Sudarshan chakra to execute Shishupala, but as the weapon returns to him, the sharp edge grazes his finger. A single drop of blood begins to fall. Powerful kings and legendary warriors surround him, yet they remain motionless, uncertain of how to respond to a divine injury. In that silence, Draupadi is the only one who moves. Without pausing to consider the etiquette of the royal court or the value of her own silk attire, she tears a strip of fabric from her sari and binds the wound. There are no elaborate rituals or hymns here, only an immediate, empathetic response to a brother's pain. This spontaneous act of care is often cited as the origin of Raksha Bandhan. It forces us to look past the modern tradition of matching threads and expensive gifts to find the specific moment a torn scrap of cloth became a symbol of absolute protection. Krishna views this bandage as more than a medical necessity. He accepts the cloth as a formal commitment, acknowledging that Draupadi has tied her welfare to his own. This creates a specific expectation. A gesture made with total selflessness creates a debt that the protector is bound to honor whenever they are called upon. The strength of this bond relies entirely on the intent. Because Draupadi acted without asking for anything in return, she set a standard for every thread tied in the centuries that followed. Years later, during the assembly of the Kauravas, Draupadi finds herself abandoned by every worldly authority. Her husbands, the elders, and the court warriors all watch in silence as she is threatened with public humiliation. Finding no help among men, she surrenders to her faith and calls out to Krishna, invoking the promise made years earlier over a small piece of torn silk. The response defies the physical limitations of the room. The original scrap of cloth becomes an inexhaustible stream of fabric, growing longer as the Kauravas tried to pull it away, shielding her until her attackers collapse in exhaustion. This event illustrates the core logic of the vow. When a promise is rooted in true faith, factors like time, distance, and physical scale no longer apply. While the story of Krishna and Draupadi is the most famous, the tradition of tying a protective thread appears in contexts that go far beyond biological siblings. During the ancient wars between Devas and Asuras, Indrani tied a sacred thread to the wrist of her husband, Lord Indra, before he departed for the battlefield. Here, the thread represented a focused prayer for victory and the safe return of a partner fulfilling their duty. Even in the underworld, goddess Lakshmi used this same gesture to approach the demon king Bali, tying a thread to his wrist to secure the release of Lord Vishnu. These records show that the Raksha Sutra is a medium for a sacred resolve. It is a commitment that can bridge different realms and even turn enemies into allies, as long as it is tied with a genuine wish for the other's welfare. In a contemporary setting, the need for physical intervention on a battlefield has largely faded, but the underlying commitment to another person's dignity remains. Just as Krishna protected Draupadi's standing in the royal court, the modern application of the vow translates to supporting her right to education, her professional independence, and her personal agency. In return, the sister provides a source of psychological stability, acting as a pillar of resilience for her brother during times of personal or professional failure. This evolution ensures the ritual remains relevant. It expands the definition of protection from simple physical defense to a comprehensive system of emotional and social support. This circle of protection can extend even further, reaching past the family to the environment we live in.